Hey everybody, this is SW Chris here again. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for looking at and viewing the other video test. What we did on that video, I'm sorry, this map always starts out bugged. I can't rotate the camera around for some reason. So what we did on this, the other video test was we started with a brand new city and we zoned it residential with dirt roads. We built up the dirt roads to high density, just high density 4 lanes, not the avenues. And then we just kind of let it build itself. All we provided was power, water, and garbage. Yeah, it was garbage. No, it wasn't garbage. It was sewage. And then we just let it run for an hour, and it built up. I got 1.2 million people moving into the city. Half the city burnt down. I never went negative on the income stream, and it just kind of demonstrated a broken game mechanic, which is, usually in these games you're supposed to balance the residential, commercial, and industrial interests, or people are going to move out of your town. And this game doesn't really act like that. So what we're going to do in this city, which is Kuwait City, this is an already established city. I built it legitimately before I kind of learned about this game-breaking bug. What we're going to do is we're going to destroy all of the residential, commercial, and industrial sections minus the utilities like the water pumping station, fire, police, power, water, garbage, and so on. So let me just give you a quick tour. This is the garbage. It needs power because I'm using wind and it doesn't quite reach down there for some reason. And so consequently I have a lot of health problems, but that's really the only issue I've seen with this city. We've got sewage here. We've got police here. We've got fire here. And we've got the power here. And for some reason, we're having some trouble with some stuff. So let me just set this up really quick so that we can make sure we have everything. So it says we have power. Needs water. Why don't we have water? Are we at capacity? Oh, it's at capacity. All right, so let me plop down a couple water towers really quick. So that everyone's happy. Okay. One right there. Okay, so that should take care of that issue. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into a time lapse really quick where I bulldoze all these buildings. And we're just going to let it sit and watch the city rebuild. And presumably it will rebuild and it won't have any issues with it because, the user here is really superfluous. I don't need to be playing this game. It pretty much plays itself. So here we go. Once that's done, oh, thanks. So once that's done, we're going to bulldoze the city again, including the utilities. And I'm just kind of curious to see what happens in that respect. All right, so here we go. Okay, here we are. We're back, and everything is bulldozed that matters. We've still got the parks, the fire, the police, the bus, the streetcar depot, everything working. And let's see here. We're just going to unpause this and see what happens. I'm actually kind of curious to see what happens with all these cars. Speed it up. As you can see, the rebuilding is continuing at pace. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom out here. And we're going to see what happens over the next hour or until the game pauses, assuming that it actually does. So here we go. Okay, we're back, and it looks like we've run out of budget, which is fine. So we can pass a bond measure, we can increase taxes, we can turn off some buildings. So what does turning off some buildings do? So looks like we just have budget issues. So what if we just turn off, say, the police department? So we're going to power that one down. And let's say fire. If I can select it. Power that one down. Shuttle bus depot, because who needs that? Turn that off. Town hall. Because we can. And so we're still a little low on the deficit. So this is good. This is actually good because it means the game design is working somewhat as intended. It just seems to be that once the RCI is out of balance, let me start over. It just means that you don't have to follow the RCI to get things to go, which is what the last video kind of showed. But once you do run out of money, the game stops and you do run into some issues. So that's good. And I'm actually very glad for that. So we're just going to turn off some of these. Oh, come on. Yeah. And we're going to, I'm still about 4,000 in the hole. It's really interesting to see all these issues. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a bond. Accept, because we can do that. And then people will come in and probably take over the income here. So we'll just go right back into hyperspeed and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like we're now in the green. Just a minute. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and look at our population numbers and see what happened. So here was our population before I destroyed it, 51,362, I think. Oh, or maybe, well, it was something around there. And then it just dropped off because I destroyed everything. And so now it's starting to climb back up when we also have a bunch of visitors. So that's good. The budget, we already have lots of residential income coming in. In fact, it's back up to $2,934 an hour, which is great. Everything in here, cutting it off. What we're going to do is start powering on things back, and just to see what happens. So it'll start that one back up. And start that one back up, and that one, and that one, and that should be going. Need to turn it back on and see if the animation starts. Nope, that's weird. Okay, this one's not going. Those are going, that's good. Okay, so that one's powering up. I'm going to start up the police station again. Da-da-da. Sorry. Had to cough there. And we're going to start up the... Oh, I didn't ever turn off the train. Start this back up because those expenses will be covered here pretty soon. We're just going to get everything going here. we go. See how quickly it's going. And I actually kind of like this skyline better than the other one. I should do this more often. All right, so we got some fires here, which is, you know, normal. Let's go ahead and start that back up too. Maybe. It's back to $249 an hour in the deficit, so I might have to take out another bond to get this to go. So we will see. Yeah, I think I will. So we'll just do that really quick. Take out another bond. Oh, no. Bond B. Accept. And we'll just watch everything rebuild again. And we'll just let it go for a while and see what happens. Hey everybody, this is SW Chris here. I'm back. I just had a recording snafu. The volume on my microphone is down, so what you just saw with the camera moving around here a bunch of times, that was me talking and thinking I was actually being recorded. So I'm just going to kind of go and recap what I just talked about. The population, I've only lost, looks like 1,000 citizens, maybe 2,000. It was 3,000 before I started talking. You know, what we just kind of found out is that if you just let the city run, it runs itself, which is something you kind of expect in a simulation. The only maintenance you really have to do on existing buildings is to bulldoze the 10 abandoned buildings and the 6 rubble that I have here. And, of course, add garbage dumps. You know, in my simulations, I kind of expect to need to do a little bit more than that. If you don't need to, that's great. This is a great game for you, but it's just not for me or my friends. The power plant, for example, there ought to be a maintenance cost on that, and not just like per month, but you know, equipment wears out. But this stuff has been going for years. I mean, when do you have to replace utilities? You know, I think that's necessary, and it's not just when it exceeds capacity. I think you really need to start simulating equipment that wears out. The other thing is that you just kind of saw within 5 or 10 minutes, everything just kind of popped right back up again. I really think that kind of demonstrates, you know, what the last video demonstrated, which was that the RCI, the mechanic of balancing the residential, commercial, and industrial demands, that's not necessary in this game. In fact, that mechanic probably doesn't exist. The other video shows it better than with this video, because that was just 100% residential. And if I had kept bulldozing abandoned buildings, people would have kept moving in, I would have kept making money, and you know, that's just that. You wouldn't have to balance anything, and that should not happen with a SimCity game. Every previous SimCity game has required you to balance the RCI in order to grow your city, or at least maintain its current level. And it's just not present in this game. And you know, whether that's a bug or a feature, that's up to you to say. I really think this game is just too easy. I mean, it's a fun, casual city builder, but in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, you know, if you think differently, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you about it, but I don't think it's worthy of the SimCity branding. I just think it's, you know, a casual game that's fun to play, and the regional interactions with the other cities, you know, that was built within 24 hours. The one behind it was built within 24 hours. You know, that's good to get people in and talking on Skype and things like that, but that interaction is also somewhat limited. So anyway, we're going to transition to the next phase of this experiment, which is to bulldoze everything, including the utilities. And you know, I really hate to do that because this is my city. I love flying around it. I love going into the, you know, the flying through the city buildings and seeing the skyscrapers. I mean, the art department here, they just really outdid themselves. It's just a shame that, you know, the game is just not complex underneath the hood, or as complex as previous entries in the SimCity franchise. So we're going to go ahead and bulldoze everything, and this is just for, you know, the S's and G's, and we're going to just see what happens. You know, I think what's going to happen is everything's going to try to rebuild, and then the garbage and the trash and the lack of police and the lack of power is going to drive people out, and we're just going to end up with no growth whatsoever. But, you know, I don't know. It'll probably end up with a bunch of abandoned buildings, and then everything will just stop. That's my prediction. So here we go. Let's see if we have it figured out and if we've correctly predicted this game's behavior. welcome back, everybody. So, what do we have here? I actually walked away for about 2 hours, and most of the city is burnt down, which is totally expected. Let's go up to the budget. We still got people coming and living here, and we still got this bond, which is interesting. And let's see what the population graph is like. So, can you go back any further? No, it doesn't look like you can. I did notice we had a huge population boom, and then it just kind of cratered. So it's just kind of sitting around, hovering around 10, 20,000. That's interesting that it actually bounced back a little bit. I'm not sure what the simulation is doing, but the behavior is pretty much expected and pretty much in line with the other video I did. What is all that? What is going on there? That is interesting. So we've got some criminals and moving vans, and they're all stuck, and it looks like they're not going away. So that's obviously some kind of bug. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions on this. I don't think it's as bad as it tends to be. I mean, a dog could probably play this game, but you know, I mean, it's a casual game. I think that's going to be my conclusion. Is it's a game for casuals. It's not SimCity 4, and you know, you just have to live with that. So the next video will be a roundtable with me, Sam, and Ferruccio. And we are going to talk about our expectations for the game, our history with SimCity, where we think EA and Maxis went wrong, what kind of responsibility they have to the community, and you know, do what I'm doing. Vote with your dollars if you don't like the situation. Like I said, the game is a good casual game. It's a city builder. It's not really a deep simulation. And, you know, I kind of feel like I was stuckered, I guess, you know, because of the SimCity label. The SimCity label has up till now stood for a deep simulation, and this is not it. So, you know, that's my conclusion. You guys can draw your own, and you guys have a great day. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, for liking it. Please do so if you haven't already. Go ahead also and look at our other videos in the SimCity Fail series, and look at our other videos on the channel for our Minecraft series and for our Old Republic series. We put those out weekly, and they are fun experiences. The one I'm particularly proud of is the newest Minecraft episode out there called Sheetport. That really gives you kind of an overview of what that series is about and what we're trying to make it into. I'm really happy with that, how that episode turned out. So thanks again, and we will see you later. Have a good day.